Positive vibes, maybe. PVM the talk show. One half of the dynamic team. I go by the name Dante Dash Smith. Trying something different, Trying from my page to getting on PVM page. Technical difficulties really stepping in a lot. So before I do much, I want to actually see if we can get our guest host up. Yes, we can. Now it worked perfectly. You was right. You was right.
Try to use my brain.
They always say you need the guidance of a woman. We're here for the muscles. You're here for the brains. You know.
We're here for the muscles.
Well, I mean, obviously, you can't see the guns. You see them pythons? Oh, you see the muscles just moving. Like, you see them just...
Yeah, have it. Oh, look at Daddy.
Yeah, I know. That's your dad. Say
Absolutely. Hey, Dad.
All right, so this is Positive Vibes Maybe, PVM the Talk Show. I'm Dante Dash Smith. This is Mother Body, a.k.a. Keema, one of the new faces for our Wednesday evenings. So twice every month, you guys will get the chance to interact, talk, mingle, share, whatever with Keema. So make sure you guys like, follow, and subscribe her page. Run them likes up, show her some love, be gentle, share kind words. Keema, you want to say anything to the people?
I just hope that I can receive in what I'm putting out as well. So this is definitely a new journey for me, and I am excited to meet new people and also be a good face to others as well. So, yeah.
I like that. Real professional.
Absolutely.
Oh, man. So me and Keema, we go back years, guys. So we already got a built-in rapport. We go back. I guess like our history will come up. As we do more and more episodes together. And more topics come out. So, you guys, love her like the way I love her. So. Tonight's topic was brought to us in a multitude of ways, and it's actually a couple topics merged into one. So, before we get too far into it, we have to offer our condolences, our warm wishes to those affected by the shooting at Roxborough High School yesterday afternoon, as the kids were leaving football practice. I believe it was 14 shots were fired in their direction. I know one deceased. I know a couple of them were in critical care, to the last of my knowledge. So praying for the best, to those that are affected. And that also kind of led room into tonight's topic, hurt people. And I actually forgot to type that. So... hurt people. Keema, when you hear hurt people, what do you immediately think of? How does that quote resonate to you?
That quote pretty much is going to be good and bad. So when you think of hurt people, you're thinking of, or I think of, two primary topics. You really don't understand how that person is feeling, or you understand how that person is feeling and you enjoying their pain. So 9 times out of 10 is either one of the two that people fall into when they are kind of expressing those type of interactions with others.
Okay. So
go ahead.
Oh no. Got you. I just want to re-update this topic, so it look a little more professional.
Yeah, look a little better.
Yeah, aesthetics say it all. So when I hear hurt people, my thinking goes to more of an emotional stance. So when I relate to hurt people, it's more so like you're hurt so much emotionally, all you can do is react to me in an emotional sense, a retaliation, of payback, I didn't get this or I should have this. And, more times than not, at least within my experience, it's been like when people have reacted, it's always been like jealousy, but not necessarily jealous of me, jealous that maybe I'm getting the love they wish they had, or maybe I have the clothes they wish they had, or whatever it is, it's something they're missing and they just see it within me, and that's where the animosity and the frustration comes from. And, oh, I want to, and essentially hurt you, because I'm so well off in pain.
Okay. Well, I guess more so it doesn't just have to be an emotional thing. Not only is it emotional, you got mental, you have physical, you have sexual. So it just depends on exactly what that particular person is dealing with that they reflect onto someone else. It does not always have to be bad either. When you think of that, it can be a good thing. Like for instance, when we have someone that is affecting us, I can hurt you mentally by telling you that I no longer want to deal with you. I no longer want to be your friend. I no longer want to be in your life, because of that. So yes, I hurt you, but I didn't intentionally mean to hurt you in a bad way. It was just more so I have to choose myself over you. A lot of times as a parent, we have to be firm with our children, and we have to, teach them how to socially interact with people in the world. So that can be the good part of the hurt people versus everyone automatically going to the negative, because we can play both sides of it.
True. But, it's kind of hard to play both sides. Well, if you aren't a parent in that situation and you're trying to play that, I guess that both sides, and you're trying to meet an adult halfway, but they aren't responsive to it. No.
Say that one more time.
I said, well, if you're trying to meet an adult halfway, in that same instance, like the same way you cleared it out for the kid, but you're trying to clear it out for the adult, like make them understand, but they really aren't understanding what you're saying, or, trying to get across, or.
Well, I guess that's where your effective communication comes in at. So when I say as a parent, that's like, growing up, we have been through certain things in our lives. So you kind of like in that I've been there, done that headspace. But you know that this is the way that you were taught. So therefore, you want to project that on your child. But at the same time, that's like tough love. Like, I'm doing it because I love you. I'm not doing it to intentionally hurt you. I'm doing it for you to make better conscious decisions. I'm doing it for you to be effective with your thinking. I'm doing it for you not to fail in life. But to that child is like, oh, you hurt my feelings, or you're not being understanding. So that can fall in the lines of the hurt people. But I feel like that's more on a positive note versus me trying to hurt you to get a reaction, or for, to make you mad or make you upset or make you feel a particular type of pain because I get enjoyment out of seeing someone else suffer. So we can kind of, weigh the odds.
That's good. That's good. Has having kids, made it easier for you to, like, I guess, be more patient with people, to allow them to process their feelings, and also with yourself.
Absolutely. I have a different type of tolerance for children than I have for adults.
Oh, wow.
I have a better patience for children than I have for adults.
Why?
as I as I learn myself, it's kind of like, I learned that it's probably more of a me thing than you thing. And I say that I have more patience for children because I feel like children are more pure. Children are more prone to, not understand what's going on. They're still learning themselves. They're going through puberty. And they're just pretty much following whatever is, they're following whatever's going on at that particular moment. So you have a little bit more patience with children because you understand that they're still at an age where they can be molded into better individuals or better adults. However, for adults, I guess the immature thinking of me would be like, you too old for this shit. Like, you should have been learned this, or, you know, you grown, figure it out yourself and things like that, because that's just the immature mind frame of myself at that particular time. And then sometimes I have to understand, like, some of us probably had hard lives and we wasn't taught that, and we don't know how to figure it out, and we're still trying to figure it out. So, and you know, you might be an adult in age, but you still really might be
A child in
mentally a
mind.
child, or and you're looking for someone to help you, but you just, of course, don't know how to, you know, ask or figure it out. So that's still something that, of course, I'm trying to decipher, but of course it starts with me because it's just my perspective.
I did that. I mean, I think we all kind of in that same boat. You know, I'll speak for myself where I say like I'm along the same lines. Like I'm still growing comfortably asking for help. Like even the idea of asking for help is even hard at times, just because like what the connotation of being a man is, and always hearing like, yo, a man is supposed to do this, a man is supposed to do that. Like it's just like almost like as a guy, you start painting yourself into a box where you're just like, yo, I can't, you know, like, because I can't afford to look like a certain type of way, you know, just because, you know, dynamics of how the world perceives things. You know, but it's unrealistic.
And it's crazy because honestly, it's like, that's not something that you just developed today. Like, that's something that was embedded in you as you grew to be an adult.
Yeah.
So once again, like, that goes back to someone else telling you like, hey, this is how you ought to be, this is how you're supposed to think, these are your gender roles, this is what you're supposed to do as a male, as a man. So is it beneficial in some ways? Absolutely, yes. But then in some ways it hinder you because it doesn't allow you to step outside of your comfort zone or your box. And you know, it all goes back into who's guiding us, who's, you know, providing us this information. And then as we get older and we realize like, okay, I was in this box, at what point as an adult am I going to step outside of it and learn something new and broaden my horizon pretty much. So I mean, it's hard stepping outside the box sometimes,
I
especially
about to
because it's your
say,
comfort zone. It really is. I don't step out the box all the time because I'm just, you know, I'm still working on not being stubborn and not worrying about being judged and not thinking about what someone else's perspective of me is, and also not being that adult that I should have known that already. And here I am trying to ask you, how do I do something that I probably should have learned, you know, back when I was a teenager or my early years of adulthood. So um it all goes back to how we perceive certain things and certain people and situations, and emotionally how it makes you feel at that particular moment, whether or not you're going to respond or not.
true. Why do you think we put that pressure on ourselves to I hear you when you said multiple times, like, I should have known this at a younger age, you know, or like, I'm too old for this. Like, why do you feel like we put that age or that cap off of like, we should know or we should have known? Like, it's like, you know, like if we're on a journey, because, all right, I'm gonna tell you how I view life. Life is a journey in my eyes, you know, like
Mm-hmm.
it's no exact destination you're supposed to be. Like everybody's route is a little different, and that's what makes us unique. You know that our routes are different. So while it might be information I receive before you, you know, it's not saying that you won't receive it. It's just saying you'll receive it when you need it. You know, like because the way I view life is some things like how you said like I should have known like it's I used to put myself in that same situation where I used to ask myself like why don't I know this or why am I not in this position or this that and the third, and I started getting to a point, and I don't know when the shift happened, but I got to a mindset where it was just like, well, why would I be there, you know? I probably wouldn't have been able to use that information, you know. So like I'm where I'm supposed to be, you know, and where I'm supposed to be somewhere else, like obviously life will move me accordingly, you know, and like life will kind of provide me with the answers to the questions I'm seeking, you know, and little by little, everything will, you know, start to manifest itself in front of me.
So I think that I try to focus on my I statements.
Oh, oh no, no,
I
you can speak.
I
I
think
just,
that I I am like that because I, you know, just looking around at other people that's probably in the same age group as me, it just makes me be like, well, dang, like we're the same age and this is where they are in life and this is where I am. But like I said, it all goes back to like that immature thinking. Sometimes, you know, you don't know where that person is in their journey. You don't know what they went through, what they experienced, and why they are where they are. And just like, you know, they don't know where you are in your journey. So it's easier to be outside looking in and judging. And then, you know, you are hard on yourself because of those particular reasons. So I know that I do that a lot. Like I'm very hard on myself, just because I feel like I personally grew up with that tough love, what we would consider tough love. But in today's world and in my proper mind frame, I would say that that was more of that, you know, mental abuse, where you react better to the negative. You react better to someone telling you what you can't do, what you don't deserve, and all of that good stuff.
Similar.
So that way, as you grow older and you see someone else, you know, further on down the road than you, you're kind of like, hey, you know, why aren't I there? And then now you're sitting to yourself like, well, you know, I guess it's not meant for me. You know, I was always told as a kid I wasn't going to, you know, amount to anything. And I'm hard on myself because that's just what I'm used to, you know. But some people take that as a good and bad. Some people use it as a more motivation to move on in life and get to where you need to get to. But then some people hold on to that, and that becomes a hindrance in their lives where they don't move forward, they don't try to progress, and they just are stuck and content with where they are. And then guess what they do? They reflect that same energy, that same mind frame, that same tough love onto
The
that
next
next
generation.
generation, and then it's that forever cycle. So and I guess that comes to stepping outside the box, you know, meeting new people and putting yourself in certain situations where other people can assist you in your journey and give you the tools that you need to utilize to move forward, and understanding it all comes a part of growth and patience, and just mentally preparing yourself and mentally being mature enough to deal with, you know, what comes your way, whether it's good or bad. That makes
So
sense.
yeah, no, you good. You're giving me like real speak, like closing it up perfectly, beginning, middle, end for each statement. Like
Yeah,
you're
like,
doing
you know,
good. You're doing good. You still nervous?
I'm always nervous. That's, you
Yeah.
know, that's a part of that
No,
anxiety,
relax, relax. You're doing fine. Like,
that built in, you know. Yeah, that's a part of that.
oh yeah. See, that's part of the insecurity you gotta shake. And you know what? This is good. You know, like stepping outside your comfort zone, like little by little, is just gonna make it easier to be comfortable with the uncomfortable. Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. It's peaceful. You know. And
People,
I'm not even near it yet. Like, but I as someone who's been striving to, you know, seek to do things that's, you know, outside of my comfort zone, whether that's clothes wear, you know, activities doing, food tasting, you know, like just each day I'm trying to add a little something different that I do outside of the norm to like kind of just keep it creative, keep it spontaneous. So for today, during my breakfast break, you know, normally I go to the car, make like one up, you
mm-hmm.
know.
I mean, you know, I live a sober life, so I got
I
you.
live a sober life too.
Okay.
I only deal with the plants. I only deal
Okay.
with the plants. Like, so instead today, I still went to the car. I still went to the car, but I took a little walk around around the campus. So the way my job is set up, we're kind of like built like on a college campus to sort.
Okay.
So it was nice today. It wasn't too hot, wasn't too cold at the time. So, you know, I just wanted to do something outside of just being in the car and blowing down. So took a little walk around the campus while I ate my breakfast. And, you know, got a little 15 minutes of cardio in. Was
Okay.
feeling good about myself. Drunk down one of my smoothies. Was feeling even better. And then, you know, still had 5 minutes left. So I was just like, all right, you know, I smoked for my last five. But like it was something new outside of the norm though. Like You know, it was different. I got to, you know, actually take a look around the campus and seeing some different sites that I had noticed. And I've been at this campus for over a year now. So the
Okay.
fact that it's still parts of it that I either didn't notice or just kind of just passed over was just like, you know, refreshing to look at,
Yeah.
refreshing to do.
Sometimes we just come routined where we only pay attention to what we need to pay attention to.
Yeah.
And everything outside of that is kind of like, you know, is that blur where you're, you know, you're not really paying attention at all. But yeah, you definitely have to be aware of your surroundings
Yeah.
at all times. Sir.
I do get on that one track mind at times, like especially when I got a specific destination I'm going to, and I know I'm safe on the campus because it's really locked down, so it's not like dangerous lurking behind the shadows or anything. But then again, you never know. You never know when danger is lurking behind the shadows or what's coming your way.
Definitely,
You know?
definitely
Yeah.
understandable.
So I do have a couple more questions for you. You know,
Let's
as
see.
we're on this topic of hurt people. So fall more into line with tonight's topic, you know, I do have a question, you know, and I will say this because I've noticed this with people who tend to hurt other people, you know, is either rooted out of jealousy or fear, you know, in most cases. So with that, I'm actually, what's your biggest fear, you know?
Honestly, I don't know because I've never really thought about it. I will say that I'm probably afraid of a lot that I never really never paid attention to. But I don't know what my biggest fear is. I don't know what tops them all. Kind of, sorta. I am someone who comes from that hurt people environment. You know, I experience pretty much physical, mental, emotional, and sexual abuse in my life. So my biggest fear when dealing with people is pretty much like not feeling wanted, not being accepted, not being liked, um, not being seen, not being heard. I pretty much probably was that child that I believe was in the shadows. You didn't notice me unless I was probably doing something off the wall, like, you know, just having to be what we considered us color folks to be crazy. So you had to be that type of way in order to get attention. So I think I don't know what my biggest is because I think as I got older, I became numb to all of that. So I don't even really think about it unless it's pulled out of me that, hey, that is something that I fear, or it's something that I um express and someone else picked it up. That makes sense.
I do, you know,
Like
I do, you
you
know.
do something and you doing it unconsciously, and there's someone like, hey, like, why you acting like that? Like, what
Yeah.
you know, are you acting
But
like that because of this reason here? And then you like, well, I didn't even notice I was doing that. Like,
see, I never been broached with that. Like more times than that, people haven't understood why I was doing it. I honestly didn't understand it most more times than not. Like I honestly didn't understand a lot of my patterns until I started doing therapy. I did a few therapy sessions for a couple months. Stopped going, not because it was bad or anything, but just really just I just felt like at that point, you know, I was good. You know, like now
no,
I'm probably gonna
never
go back,
good.
huh?
I said, no, you ain't never good.
Well, yeah, you never good, but I was good on like I can manage the next step on my own. You know, now I'm gonna go back at some point because I do feel like all black people need therapy. Like I feel like that's
Absolutely.
just something all black families need to invest in. You know, but as you know, as the doctor helped me see different qualities and different aspects about myself, um, a few things started coming up, and you know, started revealing themselves that I didn't even know about myself. You know, that kind of opened up layers. You know, revealed some insecurities, revealed some things I was dealing with. You know, as far as like how I was hurting people. You know, and like for me, my form of hurting people was not even letting them in, you know. So I wouldn't even
Okay.
give you the opportunity to hurt me because I was so closed off, you know. And honestly, I didn't even know that was an issue until like the doctor helped me see it, you know, and helped me see it within like certain relationships. And I like, because I went there under the guidance of, yo, I'm about to vent about this person, that person, and the third. Like, yo, doc, tell me
You was
why
about
they
to put it
acting
on. You was about to
crazy.
put it on everybody else but
Yes.
you. It's everybody else's fault but your own.
I'm like,
Got you.
doc, I know I'm straight. So tell
Right.
me why they crazy.
Right. I will say that once again, like, and I go back to like that, just that immature mind frame. I really thought that way. Like all my life, I was like, it's really not me. Is you. Is you. Is you. Is you. And then it's like, okay, I'm in this situation and something's going on and it's you. And then I move to another situation and something's going on and it's like, okay, what is you? Then I move to another situation. It's like, all right, now I'm the one moving around, but I
Yeah.
keep coming up with the same problem. So at some point, like, it's you, like, it's me. And I think I wasn't ready to, like, I wasn't ready for that. I wasn't ready to sit down and really like self-reflect. I wasn't ready to sit down and really talk about how I was hurting and what areas I was hurting in and what caused those hurts. You live your life being in routine, like getting up, going to school, going to work. If you're a parent, you know, doing stuff with your kids. If you're married, doing stuff with your spouse. Like you get in routine of all of that stuff. So you bury all this stuff. And as long as you're staying busy, you're not thinking about it. But like the worst time is when you're alone with your own thoughts. And then at that point, you're just like, yo, like, why am I by myself? Like, why my relationships isn't working? Or why don't nobody want to be around me? Why I ain't got no friends? Like, why my kids rather be here and here than over here with me? Like, everybody is having fun around you. Everybody is happy but you. And it's like, what's the problem? So now you have to figure that out. And I don't expect anybody else to have to like lower themselves, jeopardize their happiness and their peace just to accommodate your hurt. So you have to, you have to take that in. So like right now in my life, that's pretty much where I am. Like I'm identifying it. I'm okay with voicing it now, where before it was like I was just so stubborn, like either you take me as I am or keep it moving. That's just what it was. But absolutely, like this is it, or you keep it moving. So now it's just like, well, everybody keeping it moving. So it's like, now I'm in the back, like, wait a minute, I want to come, like, I'm getting myself together. I'm noticing it. I see it. So, and it became so routine that I didn't notice it. And then once I started meeting people in my life that was vocal, meeting people in my life that was also at peace, in order to like let me know like, yo, something wrong with you. Because if you hurt and I'm hurt, we can't help each other, because that might be normal to you. So now you got just two toxic people just
Just trauma
feeding off
bonding.
each other. And this is the life. Like, this is perfect. Like, we're good. So it took me to meet people who mentally had themselves together. It took me to meet people who mentally already experienced this and overcame. And now they're in a place where it's like, yo, I have to keep my peace. So emotionally, I have to hurt you to tell you that you can't be in my space because you're bringing me down. So I'm gonna need you to, go over there. And that's that good part. But the bad part is like, I'm worthy. Like, I'm worthy of, some conversation. I'm worthy of somebody taking the time out of their day to communicate with me and tell me, or, help me point out what my issues are. But that's not their problem. That's not their job. Like, that's yours. You have to figure that out. So that's why it always boiled down to like, we hurt the people that we're most close to.
Yeah.
Our loved ones and
That's
things
why I'm
like
about to
that.
ask.
Because
That's my next question for you.
what's your question?
No, that was the next question. Why do we hurt the ones that we're closest to? Why aren't we more gentle with the ones that love us the most, that are the most patient and the most lenient with us? Why do we take them for granted and stomp on them at times and walk over and do take their love for granted? I know that's loaded, but this positive vibes maybe,
So
that's what the maybe for.
here we go with these I statements. I I feel like we do it because 9 times out of 10, those are the people that we get away with it. You understand? Because people feel like, oh, well, that's my brother, that's my sister, that's my mom, that's my dad. Like, I have to deal with it. Like it's more easy for you to hurt them because 9 times out of 10, they're going to accept that little apology until next time. And then you kind of move on with it. So it's, 9 times out of 10, it's always been that way. Like you hurt the people that is closest to you in many different ways. Until next time, because we think that's normal. We think that's love, or we make excuses for them, or, such and such is the way that they are because, they went through trauma in their childhood, and such is the way that they are because, somebody else did this to them, or I don't want to leave them because then they might feel like I don't love them. So you deal with it. But at the same time, like you beating yourself down now, like now you're hurting. And then now you so frustrated with such and such that you're taking it out on your spouse, you're taking it out on your kids, you're taking it out on everybody else around you. So now this cycle is a push and pull thing, and that's not fair. So once again, the good part of hurt people is I'm choosing me to tell you that you can't be in my space. Like until you get yourself together, stay over there. But we can't do that. I can't tell my mom, you cannot be in my space. Like you are the primary problem. It's you. Get away from me, because guess what? It's like I birthed you. I brought you into this world. You're supposed to do this. No, I don't have to.
Well, you're not obligated just because somebody else.
Are you not obligated?
No, like
parents have
parents feel like you're obligated. Parents feel like you're obligated, right? But you're not obligated,
and you're not. But mentally, this is what is embedded in us from childhood growing up. Like you feel like this is what you're supposed to do, and anything outside of that isn't normal. Like you're being rebellious, or you're not going to make it without me, or you'll be back soon. And then people are
see, that's what parents condition up into us. That's the program they condition up into.
That's that
with fear. That's why I said part of it is fear.
Absolutely, that mental abuse, physical abuse, emotional abuse. It's a continuous thing all the time, and at some point it's hard to break that cycle. It's very hard to break that cycle because we feel like we choose what we think we're supposed to do versus ourselves. Like I care about you and how you feel and what you got going on more than I care about myself, because if I care about me more than I care about you, then I'm selfish.
But you're not, though. That's really just self-love.
It's okay to be selfish. I don't listen.
Part of self-love is putting yourself first. You need to be selfish.
The immature mind frame is you should not be selfish. But the mature mind frame is like, fuck you. Like, I'm being selfish. Like, you're not going to stress me out. Now I'm having strokes and mental breakdowns and all this other stuff for problems that's not even mine. Like, these are your problems. Why am I taking on your problems? And like, some people are more selfish enough to be like, I could just call your phone and be like, yo, Dash, and just run my whole day to you. Not even ask you like, yo, are you mentally in a space to hear my problems? Like, are you okay with listening to me right now? Because you might not even mentally be in a space, but that's just us being like, you my friend, you answer the phone, you got to listen to me. Yeah. But you're not going to tell me, yo, I ain't mentally in a space right now to hear your problems. You're going to listen.
No, I just want to pick up the phone.
You're going to pick up the phone. If you don't pick up the phone, now I'm not talking to you for the next 6 months. Then then you're gonna reach out to me and be like, hey, what's wrong? You good? Don't talk to me now when I needed you 6 months ago. Like it's crazy, because then we have a way of making people feel guilty. Like, so but these are the things that we mostly do with the people that we love, because we know for a fact that 9 times out of 10 they're not going nowhere. Like they not, people, this whole loyalty thing it goes a long way with people where they doing it for all the wrong reasons, and they're breaking themselves down just to prove like I'm there for you. Like
don't be loyal to stupidity, like be loyal to me, but also see, people got a wrong interpretation of loyalty. See, loyalty to me is holding your people accountable. Like it don't mean justify every little thing they do. Like loyalty to me means actually being loyal to me, holding me accountable. Like when you see I'm doing something wrong, check me, you know, because like
Right.
you being so close to me, I'm going to be more receptive to you checking me than somebody else approaching me trying to check me, you know, like, so I do like with that loyalty thing. I do feel like when people are like pacifying me, that's not being loyal to me. You're being a detriment to me at that point because you almost setting me up for failure if you're not trying to keep me on the edge, trying to sharpen me.
But what if that's the only way they know how to support you? Some people are just, that's all they know is that soft hand approach.
Yeah, I
That's all
mean,
they know. Like some people, like you come to a person, like you always have those friends where you like, oh, I know if I go to such and such, they're gonna give me like the rough, real, down to earth. They're gonna tell me about myself. But when you don't want to hear that, and you want somebody to feed into what you're thinking at that particular moment, you know that you can go to the other person because 9 times out of 10 they're gonna try to find the
this.
beauty in that overall situation. So
I mean,
some
you can
people, that's
still
just what they
give the
know.
beauty. You can still kind of find that nice spot, but still deliver the truth within it. Like it don't have to. Like the truth doesn't have to be delivered to you harshly. It can be delivered to you in a nice way, but more times than not, when you're the listener and you're getting this advice, you need that hardship.
I don't know, because all I know is hard.
See,
Like,
because you need that hardship.
and
Hold
that's
on,
it. That's all I know.
let
Like that's the only response you're gonna get from me. Like whatever comes to my mind, that's what you're gonna get. Whatever I'm thinking, that's what I'm gonna say. And if I hurt your feelings, then I'm sorry, because guess what? That's how I was talked to growing up. And then you know what they say. Somebody treated you that way when you was growing up and you made it, you're fine. What's wrong with you? So that's
well,
pretty
I
much
mean, but we know the past era raised us wrong, and we're in a position now to know, how we were raised isn't the way to raise the next generation. So, like,
the
what you
next
mean?
generation, because this next generation probably need to be raised how we was raised. Like, so we can't compare generations because sometimes we look at this generation like, yo, what are y'all doing?
I mean, it's easy to say from where we're at, but at the same time, our parents were saying the same thing about us. So, I gotta be mindful of that. Like each generation has its own shit to it that makes the other generation, the older generation, just be like scratch their head and be like, "Yo, what the are
Yeah,
y'all on?" Like,
well, I'm in that generation because I'm just like, yo, what? I don't know what to do with these kids. So I reflect back to that, well, this is how my mom, this what my mom said to me. This is what I'm gonna say to you because it worked for me. So obviously, it's some good. So like, I know one of the things that you mentioned before, not to reflect back, was you said you didn't notice that you were doing it. Someone else had to bring it to your attention as far as how you had the different defense mechanism, pretty much. That's just having that wall up. But what are some other things besides the one that you listed that you know that you can identify that you do when either meeting people, your past friendships, or with family, or with an actual like intimate relationship?
I'm very observant. I pick people apart, like not negatively, but I pick you apart as far as like what you do, how you sound, the the cadence in your voice, the way you move, and your whole interpretation. Like I study a person, so I can kind of get a feel for them, and then like depending on what type of relationship I'm trying to engage in, like whether that's business or personal, or maybe I'm just shooting the grain and I'm just trying to get to know you or just trying to build up a regular conversation. I might ask some entry points, try to fill out who you are character wise, like I'm never going to dive in. Like I like to let people do the talking and I like to get them talking, to kind of see who they are because like me asking you questions only going to get a certain reaction. But
My bad.
the question,
So I was looking at the comments, and when she said this generation was eating Tide Pods, right?
yeah, that was
And
real.
that was like that scratch that head moment, like, yo, this new generation, like,
Wait, while we talking comments, let me hit Princess other comment.
yeah,
She said, "I agree. those are the people that will either not leave or choose to leave and violate the thought that people will abandon you. Yes, yes, yes. And with the top fives, yeah, this generation wild now. It's something else that they was doing too. I forgot
Listen,
exactly what it
any
was.
trend, man. I was like, sometimes I just wish that we can go back to like, we really lived a life with no phones, like none of that stuff. We barely watched TV. Wasn't nobody really on no internet. Like we wasn't doing.
I ain't have no internet as a kid.
None of that stuff.
I was broke. I was from the projects. So, like the crate challenge, that's what it is. Thank you, princess. Yes. That dumbass thing, like the crate challenge.
Just to have a laugh, man. It is crazy. Yeah. Knocking out old people. Yeah, now, I ain't never walk up to no old man or no old woman and put my hands on them, but I will say
hurt like that.
I do have a similar like situation where, you know, you and your friends all go, you know, walking around, whether y'all walking to the Chinese store or y'all just, you know, I grew up in Germantown. You know, I'm from Knox and Hansberry. So I'm pretty much, you know, I've been on the Hansberry side as well as the Brickyard side. And I just remember times where me and my cousins will walk around and I bet you won't do this. I dare you to do that. And I don't know. It was just these two girls. Like I said, the mature version of me was like, what the world were you doing? But I remember two girls was at the bus stop waiting for either the XH or the H. I don't know which one. And one of my cousins was like, I bet you won't hit her. Like, but I knew that it was somebody 9 times out of 10 that was going to fight me back. Like, I'm not just going to walk up to, you know, a senior citizen and put my hands on them. Like, we did it just like to see, like, yo, you still got it? Like,
where did that hurt come from?
Huh?
Where did that hurt come from?
Oh, that physical abuse. That physical abuse came from at home. That physical abuse came from at home. Like, you know, I was physically abused, and it's crazy because like I can have this conversation with my mom and she'd be like, I never abused you. What are you talking about? But I just remember, like, my mom would pick up anything in sight, like anything, a shoe, a belt, a broom.
But her era look at abuse differently.
Huh?
I said her era look at abuse differently. So
right. So
that's
just consider, like now, you know, you snatch your child or
that's like, abuse.
That's it. Like, so to me, I'm like, yo, like, if you would have hit me the wrong way, I might not be here having this conversation with nobody today. So to me, yes, that was. But I couldn't hit my mom back. So guess what? The next person that walked by me about to catch this fade. Like, that was my mind frame. And that's, you know, that's unfortunate, you know. So it's like, that's just what it was. Like, my mom grew up in an era where, like, if somebody hit you, you hit them back. Don't come and tell me unless you already fought them. Like, I couldn't come home and tell my mom somebody hit me at school. She gonna be like, well, why you not suspended? What are you talking about? When you go back to school, I better get a phone call that you whoop somebody's ass, or I'm gonna whoop your ass when you get in this house. That's just what it's gonna be. Oh, she hit you? Go outside. You better beat her ass, and if she don't, I'm gonna beat your ass. Like, that's just what it was. Like, I remember having a conversation with somebody. I was about to fight. I said, listen, I ain't trying to catch this ass whooping by my mom. Like, I ain't got no problems with you, but you just gonna have to rumble me today, because I'm not trying to catch this. I'm not trying to do it, because I already knew what it was going to be. And it's unfortunate because it's like, yo, like, that really, we were trained that way. So it's like, now when our kids come into, you know, it's like, now I got to tell my child the same thing. Somebody put their damn hands on you, you better hit. Like, but what are we doing? Because that era then and this era now is completely different. Ain't nobody fighting no more. Now it's like, all right, well, now I gotta teach my kid how to use a gun, or I gotta teach my, like, it's crazy. But once again, it's just a revolving door of hurt people. It started with the physical abuse of just going out there, you know, throwing hands with somebody, to like, all right, now you can't take an ass whooping, so now I'm about to shoot you, or you getting jumped, or whatever case may be. To me, that was life. Like, to go out in, you know, in the midsummer, like, that was life. fun. Like I had a conversation with one of my coworkers, and I remember she was like, I never had to fight a day in my life.
Damn, she looked
And
for the flight.
I said, you never lived. Like, what
Yeah,
are
I
you
know.
talking about?
That
But
was my summer.
right,
Summer '98.
but
Every day, I was getting my
that's not
ass whooped.
right. Like,
But
who am I to tell you you never lived because you never was in a physical altercation? I should have been asking her, like, how did you go your whole life, you know, without having a physical altercation? Meaning you might be good with your words. But we
not
don't
one
think of
time
that
did she feel the
because
need to slap a
we a
bitch.
little
That's
toxic.
crazy.
So it's
Like,
like that's the life. You know, you just go out there and start something just to see if you still got it type ordeal. Like, I ain't fighting 5 years. Let me see if I still can. Like, that's crazy. But
no, see, you tripping with that one. But like,
what?
I had felt the need. I had felt the need to slap a motherfucker from time to time. I'm like, but I ain't just walking the street just itching to get one off. Like, nah.
I was young though. I was young. I was young. I'm not like that now because, you know, I gotta lead by example, and, you know, being a parent, I try to teach my my little ones to use their words and, you know, go tell first. And but if somebody, you know, if you tell first and then they continue to do it, you know, because you
Put
don't
your
want to feel
hands
like
up.
you're raising a pump either.
Yeah,
You know?
put them palms up.
So where do you find a balance? You know, I don't know. I don't know the balance.
I was about to say, where do you find the balance? Like, especially with the
It's
little ones.
it's hard to find that balance or whatever. But yeah, we kind of went off topic as far as
We did, but you know what? We closing in on that hour mark, but I still have another question that, you know, that'll take us back, and we can use this as like the gateway to end this conversation on this
okay,
line.
what you got?
So, you know, have you ever done something to an ex that they told you was done to them in a previous relationship? Now, when I say ex, this doesn't necessarily have to be an ex-lover. This can also be
Okay,
an ex-friend,
okay,
maybe an ex-family member, because, you know, people do disown their family, you know.
yeah,
Wait, shout out to Princess. She said, my mother had the same energy, LOL. So,
absolutely. What's that? You know, this I'm not on social media like that. What is that? These reels or whatever, and you be one of them reels you just walk back and you be like meet. You know that one?
no.
Never mind, went over your head. You just walk by, just, you know, punch somebody a couple times. But go ahead.
Oh, that's the real? You just walking by punching somebody?
It's like a I don't know. I just have to let you see it. I can't explain it. You ain't gonna have me looking crazy.
We might need to invest in a punching bag for you. You know, little 1, 2.
Yeah, she know what I'm talking about. Thank you.
I know the one you're
I'm
talking
not
about.
looking crazy. She know what I'm talking about. You just, you know, just.
I'm social media illiterate. I spend 13 hours a day at work. So, you know, when I come out, where I see on my timeline is what I see. Like, wherever don't meet the cut, don't meet the cut. Like,
I appreciate you because she got me. She got my back. But what was the question? Repeat the question.
oh, have you ever done something to an ex, a friend, a family member, whomever, that they told you was done to them in a previous circumstance or situation or relationship, and you still followed through and done it to them, whether intentionally or unintentionally?
I have. I definitely have, and like I said, as I grow and I mature, I'm just now realizing as I reflect back. I would say everybody who's been in my life, I've probably done it to them. It's unfortunate, and, you know, I will say for those who are still close to me, you know, I always not only am I apologetic verbally, but I also show them physically that, like, I mean what I say, and I truly am sorry. But one
Like,
of
how
the
you
things
show them physically? Like, you don't beat them up?
physically is I'm not going to do it again. But I'm working on not doing it again. So one of the things that I always get critiqued on is my attitude. You know, that's just one of those things where, you know, your emotion gets high, your logic goes low, where you're not really thinking and you just react. So I am an outspoken individual. I say what's on my mind whenever, however, and that's just who I am. And you can tell me I don't like when you talk to me that way because it triggers me. And I'll tell you like, okay, but if I'm passionate about something or something really bothering me, or I'm in my feelings about something, like, you gonna catch whatever comes out of my mouth, and I just can't control that. It happens until I calm down, and I'm like, damn, I probably shouldn't have, you know, said that, or I shouldn't have did that to you. But at that time, I think I was reacting out of wanting someone else to feel how I was feeling. So that goes back to the two things that I said earlier was, you know, people can do it out of pain that they received, or people can do it because they enjoy seeing someone in pain. So 9 times out of 10, when I react in that type of way, I'm reacting because I am in pain. So I don't want you to be in pain, but also, you know, if I'm hurting, you're gonna hurt too. But that's you know, that's umpteen years of everything. So yes, I would say that I definitely have done that before. I probably still do it, just not as much. But it's still a work in progress for me. Like, I don't, you know, it's still a work in progress for me. If I identify it, then I can deal with it. But a lot of times, you know, I do expect people to tell me, especially if you're close to me, just go ahead and tell me like, hey, I don't like when you do that. What I started doing to people that are close to me, come up with like little code words to let me know, like, if I'm, you know, raising my voice, or my body language is changing or whatever, like, just hit me with that word. And I'm like, all right, yeah, I need to calm down. Like, you at a, you know, because I come in conversation sometimes already at an 8, and I'm just waiting for you to say something so I can go here to a 10. But I came in already at an 8. Like, I was already mentally prepared that, yeah, I'm probably about to, you know, I'm about to be Cleo in a minute. But yeah, that's a work in progress for me now to this day. Like, I'm still working on that. And that's probably why I'm more so stay to myself, and I try to self-reflect, because, you know, I have to be who I want to attract. So I can't expect you to be my friend if I don't know how to treat you. I can't expect you to be my friend, and I can't treat you right if I can't treat myself right. So that's still that self-reflecting. Like, I'm no longer trying to be selfish and thinking like you owe me something versus me owing me something. So that's definitely something that I work on, because I still do that. I probably just did it like last week, but hey.
I mean, you know, you always gotta pay yourself first, you know. Always. Now,
so what about you? I feel like you're trying to skip out.
Oh, I had
you was about to start. Yeah, I felt that.
So what's the question for me?
You
have
had the
I ever done anything? Have I ever done anything to an ex that they told me to do previously? Yes, I have. You know, like, we all have past. Like you said, like, I was young, growing.
Princess is on it.
What?
She on it.
You
she was thinking the same thing I was thinking. Like, you asked the question, you gonna ask me what the question was when you.
Oh yes, because like, as the question asker, you know, once you ask the question, I'm on to the next question. Like, I'm listening to your response, and then I'm on to the next one. Like, I had like 3 more questions I was about to hit you with before you hit me with the your answer this. You know.
I mean, it's cool. We started late, so you know you still got an extra 15 minutes. But go ahead, answer the question. I feel like you're trying to skip out on it.
Oh no, I got you. I got a legit answer.
I'm listening.
You know, like, it's thorough. For me, yes, I have done it before. It actually, it might have occurred in, you know what, it did. It occurred in a friendship, and it occurred in a previous relationship as well. The friendship, it was more so, I guess, a betrayal of trust to him. You know, we also the only people in here. LOL. Well, right now, you know, on the playback, it's gonna be much different. You know,
I'm definitely gonna be looking for her when I'm on here, because I need her. I need her. So you make sure that when I'm here, you here. we a team now. Well, go ahead.
Shit. Um, Damn, where's my train of thought? Okay, so yes, I have done it. I have done it. Friendship. He looked at it as more a betrayal of trust. Um, and it kind of sort of, I guess, was to an extent. We had a partnership at the time. Like we were actually discussing. This was like I'm gonna say 2009. We were actually kind of creating our own digital platform, and it was
Okay.
supposed to be called the Black Phoenix, rising up from the ashes because we were black men, rising up from the ashes. The phoenix is symbolic of always continue to be reborn. So we had the idea and concept in mind. Now, when we actually met in school at that's my phone. That's my phone trying to check out battery wise. So we met at the Art Institute of Philadelphia. Actually,
Okay.
let me get this charger up on this. But and from there, we just developed a nice rapport, and we wanted to create a platform, where it was going to promote underground artists and artists of the like. So he told me about the experience that he had with his past partner prior to me, and how things turned out with them as far as like mistrust, and he felt like his ideas were took, and it was just, you know, I guess, they just mishandled things. For me, it became an issue because at a certain point, it became a, a, a pattern of him just sharing ideas, but never with the follow through. But it would be me sharing ideas as well, but I'm doing all the follow through. So,
Okay.
eventually you get tired of shouldering the weight. So, I took my creations and I moved along solo, which was like a betrayal to him because that's what he went through in his previous partnership. So he looked at it like I was betraying him. But for me, it was just like, well, if you don't give, you can't receive, And what do I look like continuously feeding another person and doing all the work if you aren't going to contribute more than just idea's sake, So yeah,
Okay.
that's
But did you explain why you did what you did?
eventually, yes.
Okay.
Not in that sense. At that time, I was too young. I was too hot-headed. I was too emotionally triggered because I'm a person who run on my emotions. So when I feel like, some things I kind and this is a flaw of mine where I feel like some things should be obvious, and this is, I guess, a byproduct of the way I was raised, and the way I look at the world, where it's just like some things just don't make sense to me, and when it don't make sense, I also have the idea that people should feel the same way, like this doesn't make sense,
Right.
especially where it's like, to me, so visually clear that this doesn't make sense, like whether that's ideology, concepts, whatever, and some people just don't make sense to me, he didn't make sense to me at all, or his mindset of feeling offended when you didn't, you know, create more than just an idea. Like he would do this, Keema. Like we had an idea for a web series for a character. He gave me the idea of two character names. That's it. But felt like he was entitled to, like proceeds of what the series was getting. Because at the time, like we had a little offer from a little studio here that was willing to pay us a couple $100. Nothing crazy, but
Okay.
it was a little something, and he felt like he was entitled to it. And I'm just like, dog, you gave me guys' names. You gave me character names. I can replace character names. What have
Well,
you?
maybe he needed that motivation. Like maybe that's just what he was used to. He's used to giving the bare minimum and receiving the most. That's probably how he, grew up. Maybe he was spoiled or whatever the case may be. But I think a lot of times, I guess what you were saying, the perspective of assuming people are supposed to maybe think the way that you think, or that's that immature mind frame. So
Yeah, I know. I said I
we have
was young. I was hot headed.
we have to go from that immature mind frame to a more mature mind frame. And if, like I said, this is something that I hold with me, since you said that you are an emotional person, it's something that you might want to hold with you. When the emotions are high, the logic is low. That's just it. We not thinking properly. Nothing that you're doing out of emotion is right. It's not, because you're not thinking. So if something happened and you know, like you on 110, then you might need to sit on that. Don't respond yet. Don't even, just sit on it for a little bit. Because by the time you sit on it and think about it and talk it out with, you know, whoever you want to talk it out with, then you be like, all right, maybe I was tripping. I was tripping. Because once you blow up and it's out there, like, that's it.
You can't take it back.
You can't take that back.
Yeah,
And
it's
then,
over
you know,
with.
you might catch the mink, depending on what the depending on what the situation is. Just saying. But you know, you any other questions?
No, I mean, actually, we're doing really good. Actually, we're a little bit over the time slot. How you feel? You know, one episode into this thing, official member of PVM. You feeling good?
I'm all right for right now.
All right.
I think I'm good. I told you, you know, my you know, my little anxiety kicks in, and
Don't worry, I've been reading up on the anxieties.
See, that's you doing the footwork. You doing the footwork.
Yeah.
That's that action that, you know, we be talking about, you know.
Princess said I forgot my other 5 questions.
Right.
No, well, I didn't, and I did. You know, time wise too. You know.
Yeah, that's the excuse. I got them next time. I'm definitely going to have to come up with my own questions to ask, since that's the only way that I'm gonna be able to get you talking. So
what you mean? Look, today the episode just geared more towards you talking. You know, like, there's nothing wrong with that. Like, this is a team. Like, this is like basketball. You play basketball, loving basketball.
So that means you the friend that gave 2 names. Like, you just gave 2 names.
Well, today I was Magic Johnson. I was just setting you up. You know, I was just setting you up.
Okay.
Today you was Kobe Bryant. You was taking the shots. You was doing the scoring. Nothing wrong with that. You know, we're a team. You know, sometimes you got to pass. Sometimes you got to rebound. Sometimes you're required to score. Now, next week I might be required to score more and talk more. Who knows?
You know, you gonna have to. You're gonna have to. But, you know, next time I know to come with my my questions, so that way I can start throwing them fireballs at you.
What you mean fireballs? I mean, this is supposed to be like friendly competition. I mean, friendly conversation, you know.
No, not like in a bad way, just questions.
I don't know. It sounded like you was about to press it, brother. You know, I felt press. Cardi B.
No, because I don't
press.
Do to others what you want done to you. So I'm not going to do anything that I would not. I will not put you on the spot. I don't need that in return. I promise you that.
I appreciate that. You know, I adapt well, though. I adapt well. You know, I'm a fish. I'm a Pisces, so we swim. We flow with the water.
I got you.
So, guys, this has been a new episode. Well, this was an episode of Positive Vibes, maybe. You know, welcome, Mother Body, Keema. New official Wednesday face for PVM, so get used to her, guys. You will be seeing her twice a month, every month. It's already locked in. The contract is sealed, ink is dry. You know, like, everything is certified. It's a done deal. Like,
wait, Princess, what challenge I gotta take?
Take the challenge. Wait, challenge accepted. Wait, what challenge?
Who taking the challenge? Well, you gotta give her time to type.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's all good because I still got a lot of intros to go. I mean, outros to go.
All right, go ahead. Also, I keep an eye on it.
New episode of PVM this Sunday with the return of Jetty. You know, welcoming him back. Like I said just a moment ago, Wednesdays are taking a new twist because we're going to be joined by Miss Mother Body and Juice World. You know, for every Wednesday, I'm going to have one of the 2 co-starring with me. Also, make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube channel at Positive Vibes Maybe. Like, follow, stream, and subscribe to the channel. See the numbers going up. Love the action. Love the activity. You know, keep on following. Keep on sharing. Keep on promoting. Also, make sure y'all fly on out to Fly 'em Out Caterings. Order y'all self a delicious smoothie. Start your day off right and properly, with the proper nutrients your body craves and needs, you know, feed. You know, I gotta give it the extra like. And Princess said, laugh my ass off. Didn't you say you didn't want to put him on the spot? I'm saying do it, take the challenge. Nah. We don't need that. We don't need that energy. Not on a Wednesday.
All right. So this gonna be my muscle memory. So when I see her in here and she tuning in and I know she there, then we might can talk about that moving forward because I know I got support. So
Or put me on the spot.
If I gotta take this challenge, I need to make sure that it's people that's gonna have my back, because that's all it's about, is that about that support. So if I gotta take a challenge, then I gotta make sure that I got that support. So
I thought you said you didn't want to trade shots.
Listen, Princess said she support me. I got one supporter.
I gotta open
I'm
up the
just
clip
starting
and
this.
I
gotta collect my people. I'm just starting here. I got one. Okay. So if she wants to support me, let her support me, and then we're gonna make this happen.
Listen. I don't need to have to invite secret guests up on the show. Like we don't need to.
We gotta make this happen. But yes, I appreciate it. I really do.
Oh, man, you want to say any last words? Tell the people where to follow you.
I mean, I don't know. I don't even know my name.
You gotta tell us.
I don't even know my name on there.
All right. So follow Miss Mother Body, MOTHA_BODY, guys, to stay up tuned with this pretty lady. And
absolutely.
So tune in this Sunday for a new episode as we are joined again by Jetty, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. New live, same host, new topic, new vibes.
Got you.
Yeah. Any lasting words for the episode?
Nope. I appreciate it. I'm here, and we'll see what this journey take us.
Yeah. Sound a little more excited. Feel a little more open.
I'm about to.
Are you about to tap out?
I'm about to cut off.
All right.
My screen darkening now.
All right. Good night. Good night, guys. We'll see y'all Sunday at 7. Until then, it's for PVM. Positive vibes, maybe. Make sure that's what it is. Follow us on Instagram. Positive vibes, maybe. PVM the Talk Show. Tap in, subscribe there, and we'll see y'all then.